Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your game by subscribing to our channel and never miss our daily content. For exclusive access to our premium betting picks, join our Patreon, find the link in the comments section below. Stay ahead with High Stakes. Baltimore Orioles vs Cleveland Guardians. Lively has tossed well at home this season, but he is coming off his weakest monthly split of the season and will be facing an Orioles offense that sits in the top 10 in both home runs and doubles hit per game. The Orioles' bats have also hit well on the road, with more than half of their doubles coming away from home. The pitching staff has done a solid job limiting the long ball, and they've tossed well with hitters in pausa, and expect these trends to stay intact here. Take Baltimore moneyline. Both of these offenses are coming off a relatively weak batting month as it pertains to their respective season averages. As mentioned, Lively has tossed much better at home, and he's posting a split high K rate hone hurling under the lights. The Orioles' bullpen sits top 10 in nearly metric, and their ability to toss well with their backs against the wall should leave some runners stranded here. Take under 9.5 runs. Kansas City Royals vs Detroit Tigers. Lugo has been effective versus Detroit, winning both starts and producing a lean 1.38 ERA. Kansas City has won their prior 3 matchups with the Tigers and have come out on top in 4 of their last 6 meetings. They swept Detroit at Comerica Park in a 3-game set played in May. Royals hurlers have limited Tigers batters to 3 runs or less in 3 straight games in 4 of their last 6. The Royals have been an excellent bet in 2024, winning against the spread in 59 of their 108 games played. The Royals have an edge offensively in this matchup, ranking in the top 10 in multiple categories, including 10th in batting average with .251, while the Tigers rank in the bottom half of the league in several key categories. Detroit has been shut out in 2 of their previous 3 games. Adding to the Tigers' woes in this contest, the Royals rank 12th in the league in ERA with 3.81. The Kansas City pitching staff limited their opponents to just 1 run in 3 straight games last week. Detroit has not had much of a home field advantage in 2024, losing about half of their games played at Comerica Park. The Tigers have struggled since the All-Star break, losing 7 of 10 games. The stats and trends strongly support a comfortable Royals victory out on the road Thursday evening. Take the Royals to win. The previous 3 matchups between these squads went over the run total, with 33 runners crossing the plate during their 3 games set in Kansas City earlier this season. The Royals have scored 8 runs or more in 3 straight versus the Tigers' pitching staff, and have exceeded 5 runs in 5 of their last 6. The Royals have hit a robust 2.80, with a .457 slugging percentage in their prior 5 games against Detroit. The Royals rank in the top 10 in several key offensive categories, including batting average and slugging percentage, so they have the tools to score quickly in bunches. They have gone over the run total in 3 of their previous 4 games. Detroit has gone over the run total in 3 of their previous 5 games, and their opponents have scored 8 runs or more against them twice in the previous week. Tigers hurlers have produced a bloated 4.67 ERA in their prior 6 games. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair in Detroit on Thursday. Take over 8.5 runs. Miami Marlins vs Atlanta Braves. The Braves have dominated the head-to-head series this season, going 5-1 in their 6 games against the Marlins. Atlanta finished their road trip on a 4-1 run, and they return home where they are 3-0-2-1 this season. Miami is 18-34 on the road, the 2nd worst mark in the National League. Meyer faced the Braves way back in April, his last start before being shipped down to AAA, but he was fearless against them, striking out 7 and allowing just a run over 6 innings. However, he won't be backed by as sturdy a lineup this time, and this is also just his 2nd start since being recalled. Morton was beaten around a bit by the Marlins back in April when he gave up 6 runs, 7 hits, and a walk in 5 2/3 innings. He will be facing a much different lineup this time around. The veteran is also coming off of his worst start of the season, and he has done extremely well to bounce back from rough outings this year. The Braves are in a heated postseason battle, and this is one of those must-win series, which starts here in the wake of their win over Milwaukee on Wednesday. 4 of Atlanta's wins over the Marlins this season have been by at least 3 runs. Take Atlanta minus 1.5 runs. In their 6 meetings this season, the under is 4-2, and the teams have averaged 7.8 runs per game. One team has scored a run or less in 4 of those games. Between the 2 clubs, the under has hot 108 times this season. These are 2 bottom-half offenses in terms of scoring, the Marlins sitting 2nd to last overall with a 3.61 runs per game average. Since the All-Star break, Atlanta's offense has scored 3 runs or less in 5 of 12 games. The Miami offense is a crapshoot at this point, with a lot of new young faces in the mix. The Marlins have managed to score 3 runs or less in 2 of their last 3 games. Take under. Cardinals vs Chicago Cubs. Neither of these teams have been playing their best baseball recently, as St. Louis is just 5-5 in their last 10 games, while Chicago is also 5-5. The odds makers view this game as a virtual toss-up. Well, while this is a matchup between 2 aces, Sonny Gray has simply not been pitching like one. He made 4 starts in July, logging a 6.75 ERA and 1.50 WHIP in 24.0 innings pitched. The right-hander allowed at least 5 earned runs in 3 of those 4 outings. Meanwhile, Chicago is coming off a 1-3-4 shellacking of the Reds, so this is a prime spot for them to stay hot. Let's back the Cubs at this short moneyline price. Gray pitched against the Cubs in July, and it was the one quality start that he registered in the rough month. The right-hander tossed 7.0 innings, limiting Chicago to 3 earned runs on 9 hits. The game finished 5-1 in favor of the Cubs. Imanaga pitched in a 5-1 victory against the Cardinals back on June 15th. The left-hander was lights out, lasting 7.0 innings while conceding only 1 earned run on 4 hits. Imanaga has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year, logging a 2.95 ERA 10th and a 1.07 WHIP 18th. I think he stays hot against this Cardinals squad that's a middle-of-the-pack 10th in average .257 and 14th in OPS .732 over the last 14 days. Give me the under at this elevated number. My total pick is under 8.5 runs. Colorado Rockies vs Los Angeles Angels. The Colorado Rockies have been playing at a miserable level this season, as they are last in the NL West, as they are 25.0 games back in the division and 19.0 games behind in the NL wildcard race. Their offense has been doing a decent job as they are 16th in the league with a .7007 team ops and scoring 4.27 runs per game. The team has been way too aggressive as they are 24th in the sport with 305 total walks thus far. Center fielder Brenton Doyle has been doing very well at the plate as he has recorded a .273/.335/.473/ line with 17 home runs, 53 RBI, 59 runs scored and 21 steals while being caught stealing 5 times. This Rockies team has been brutal but could win on the road against a struggling team. When diving into the home road splits for these starting pitchers, there is a bit of a difference as Ryan Feltner is 1-7 with a 4.16 ERA and a .246 opposing batting average in 12 games 67.0 innings, while Carson Fulmer is 0-0 with a 2.59 ERA and a .130 batting average against in 31.1 innings during his 14 home games 2 starts. In the last 5 games, these offenses are on different levels as the Rockies are scoring 3.2 runs per game, while the Angels are averaging 5.6 runs per game in that stretch. Go with the Angels to win this game. The Los Angeles Angels have been playing poorly this season as they are 4th in the NL West standings and are 9.0 games behind in the division and 11.5 games behind the final spot in the AL wildcard. The Angels have been hitting less than they should be offensively as the team has a .236/.305/.378/ line while averaging 4.07 runs per game up to this point. One of the team's biggest weaknesses has been their power, as they are 22nd in Major League Baseball with just 109 total home runs thus far. Catcher Logan O'Wap has been hitting well as he has a .789 ops with 14 home runs, 43 RBI, 46 runs scored, and 2 steals on 5 tries this year. This Los Angeles team has to make a major swing in the last 2 months to salvage a playoff spot while hurdling a handful of teams in the standings. When looking at the last 7 games for both of these pitchers, they have been performing well. Ryan Feltner is 0-4 with a 3.63 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP in 39.2 innings, while Carson Fulmer is 0-0 with a 3.13 ERA and a 0.83 WHIP in 23.0 innings, 3 starts. These lineups have not performed well this season either, as the Rockies are 28th with a .648 road ops this year, while the Angels are 20th in the sport with a .713 home ops so far. Go with under 9 runs in this game.